Hey guys, Strike here. Today I'm going to go over the use and configuration of MysterClean. First of all, what MysterClean does is scans a server for Mystcraft ages and looks for any linking books or otherwise that actually point to those Mystcraft ages, and allows you to delete the ages that literally you don't even have a way to get to, freeing up a lot of hard drive space. So if I take a look at my server here, go to the properties on the world, I'm almost at 2 gigabytes. This is on a solid state drive, and I make backups every couple of days, so yeah, need to clean that up. If we go into this folder, we have all of our Mystcraft ages, roughly 4 megs, 10 megs, whatever each. I've got over 100. I only use in my game like 6 or 8 maybe. So the real question, of course, especially if you've renamed some ages, is what dimensions here are safe to delete. MysterClean will help us do that automatically. The most basic use of MysterClean is simply to run it and click Scan World, browse for your server folder, oops, hit OK, and it will start the scan process. Once the scanning is completely finished, this middle section will become enabled, and all you really need to do is just click this clean button on the toolbar, hit OK, and it will all be taken care of for you. So as you can see right here, it's scanning the first dimension, dimension 0, which is the overworld, and we get a bit of a progress indicator. This is kind of a mini map of the entire overworld. Down here in the lower left, it shows how many chunks have been scanned already, and a progress bar for this dimension. MysterClean is fairly advanced in the sense that it will scan for any additional ages and then scan those ages in the nether in the end as well, in case you have links to further ages from there. So this ages to delete section will literally only consist of ages that have no links to them whatsoever and are therefore completely safe. As it does the scan, it will move items from ages to delete into ages to keep once it's identified a reference, a linking book, for example. And but it's going to take a while. For me, this takes about half an hour. If you have a larger server, it might take even more time. So the remainder of this video is going to talk about the configuration. So I'm going to cancel out of here, and we'll go into the settings page. The first thing that you can do to optimize is to turn off entities. Entities really only consists of loose books. So if you have a book in a chest, on your person, or in a book stand, then you don't even need that option. But if there's a chance that you have dropped books anywhere that you, for whatever reason, might want to keep the link, then you would want to keep that checked. It's on by default because by default we want to scan absolutely everything. The players checkbox determines whether you want to check player inventories. So for example, if I scan, you can see found player reference to Mystcraft age endstone because I have that book in my inventory, and that will scan any other players if you have a shared server. Let's go back to the settings. We can turn on Remember World, by the way. So if you have one server that you may want to continually scan, you don't have to browse for it. It will remember what you had set, or what you had last scanned. So I suggest keeping players on. Dimensions to scan, this is the number of steps it's going to take. I personally know I only have books I care about in the overworld, so I can uncheck these and save a bit of time on the entire scan process, especially the end for me. I've done a lot of Iridium searching, so that is huge and takes a long time. But if you're hosting a server with other players, you don't know, they might have say a Mystcraft age generated that contains links to more ages, then you'd want to keep some of these checked perhaps. The last thing that's going to influence how long it takes to scan is, of course, how much of this area we do scan. There are a couple of semi-advanced options for that. If we go back into settings, this is home base section. So especially if you play alone and you have one home base like I do, with all of my books, you could take the coordinates and type those into here, the scan origin, just the X and Z coordinate. And there's also a player mode, which I'll mention in a moment here. Blocks from origin is the radius around that center point. So for example, if you have the exact coordinates to your base, you could probably turn this down quite a bit and it won't take very long at all. So let's set it to 150 and we'll run a scan on the world here, and we'll see we have a small little circle and the scan is finished already. It did not pick up my books here because my base is not near the origin. So I'm going to choose the player mode. I'm the only player on this server, so it's automatically going to choose me, but if you have a server with multiple people, then when you hit scan it will pop up a box asking you to choose one player. But again, it's just me, so this will be automatic. So if I choose scan, yeah, we'll clear the old one, then you can see it's moved the search area to where I am at, and it has found all of my books. So let's go through these, and we'll talk about kind of the three different link methods that it will find. So the first item here, Endstone, we see has two references, P for player, and then me. That's because I have one in my inventory. And also there's a block, a link book stand, at these coordinates, which is right here actually. If we go down here, okay, another link book stand, you'll notice actually that it did not pick up this dropped book because I've turned that option off. So let's go ahead and turn that on again to scan for entities. I only have that book there for demonstration purposes, by the way, and it picked it up here. Alright, finished, there we go. So E, entity, link book, and the coordinates to that. So it will also look inside of chests, so well, I don't think I have one in a chest. Let's go put this back in the chest, and we'll be able to see that. Okay, so there's that, and we'll run the scan again. Yes, that's good. Okay, and if we look at oil here, oh, the server is not updated, so let's fly out a little bit and try and get it to force to save that. Okay, we'll rerun the scan. Okay, we can see here that it found it inside the chest. Alright, for actual cleanup, you can, if you want, force ages to be kept, like this, or you can force ages to be deleted. You will get a warning message if you do decide to delete recognized ages. But otherwise, we can just go ahead and click the clean button, and we're going to purge 808 megabytes, which is 101 ages. Let's go ahead and do that. And I am doing this with the game still running. It does not modify anything in the game. It literally just deletes stuff that the game can't even use anyway. So if I then go to my world folder properties here, we can see it's down to 1 gigabyte instead of 1.8. So a bit easier to manage. As for other options, if we turn this up a bit again to make it take a bit longer for the scan, it takes a couple seconds or so to scan 100 chunks. We can drastically improve that by, if we know that our base is, you know, instead of searching bedrock to top of the sky, you might do 50 to 150 or something of that nature. So if we do that scan, then we'll find it goes almost twice as fast. Okay. I know that my stuff is between 80 and 120. Let's not search for entities, and we'll rescan then. And it's cooking along pretty good here.